Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shelby. This is the 5th video I filmed today. I'm exhausted, but we have got our books I read in the month of May. And there's 9 books here. So I'm going to try and make this quick, especially because I'm not talking about Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant in this video. I'm going to do a whole separate video dedicated to these. So stay tuned for that if you want to hear reviews on those, just because I'm going to do these 3 and the 4 book together, just to kind of have that review in one place. And I was thinking, because I have another book series, I was thinking of doing that with the Bridgerton books, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to review them as I read them, because I might take a break or whatever in between them, because there's a lot. There's 8 plus Violet's story, and then Queen Charlotte's story, which I haven't bought that one yet, but nonetheless there's a lot. And so yeah, let's just dive in. I have my Goodreads up to kind of spark my memory when it comes to books, but first I read books in like the authors in doubles. Does that make sense? Or like multiples. So like each author I read 2 or more books of this month. I don't know, I just found that interesting, because I read 3 Veronica Roths, I have 2 Lucy Scores, so I have Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light. So good, so good. I cannot wait till Lucian's book comes out. That's all I gotta say. So Things We Never Got Over is about Knox Morgan and Naomi. I read this April 20th to May 2nd. I have been obsessed with tapping, guys. Obsessed. And so essentially Naomi is a runaway bride. She was in a toxic relationship. Not good things were happening. And her sister Tina, like out of the blue, contacted her and was like, I need your help. So sis went to help. Tina has not been a good twin sister. Tina is not a good twin sister. We find out more of that in here. She's awful. Awful. And so Naomi goes to Knockamout. That's the town. And she basically stays at like this really sketchy hotel. She goes to a coffee shop and Knox freaks out because he's like, Tina, we don't want you here. Like, you are not allowed in here, like in town right now. Like, you gotta go. And Naomi's like, funny thing is, I'm not Tina. And so she was supposed to meet Tina. Tina ends up taking everything, like going to the hotel, taking everything from her and leaving her daughter, Waylay. And so Naomi ends up being the guardian. But there's a lot of love, mystery, grumpy sunshine. Like, they're very grumpy sunshine. And yeah, it's just like Naomi's whole life like falls in on her. Her life becomes drastically different from what it was prior. And Knox has never been one to settle down. Well, Naomi kind of changes that. And yeah, it's just like, it's so good. I gave it a 4-star. Let me see. It basically is like, they create a little like they end up becoming a family. Like, her parents come, she's got her friend that he comes, and I hope we get a book about him also. And yeah, it's really like, they're so good. I don't know what took me so long to read these, because they're so good. And then we have Things We Hide from the Light, and I think, honestly, what did I end up scoring this? I gave this a 5-star. That's what I thought. I thought I gave it a 5-star. Because Nash and Nina, whoa. So Nash ends up, he gets shot in here. I don't think I mentioned that, but Nash is like recovering from his getting shot, and like the psychological effects of that and stuff. He is the police sheriff, basically, for the town. Like, he runs the police force. And yeah, Nina ends up in town, and she is Knox's friend, actually. They dated like when they were younger, and yeah, she ends up moving into one of the apartments right by Nash. Lena, not Nina, I always called her Nina, Lena, just because I was like Nina Nash, but her name is Lena, whatever. And yeah, I really liked their romance, and like how it ends up happening, and like it was quick, very quick. And yeah, again, mystery, like she is a secret detective type of a deal, kind of ish, and he's a police officer. And so like there's some suspense, like there's kind of a formula in these books. Like there's something that happens amongst the couple that they kind of like separate, and then they realize they're in love, and then something bad happens, and then they really are in love. Yeah, that's basically what happens in both of these. And Knox and Nash have a best friend named Lucian, who is basically like their other brother, and his book comes out. I'm so excited, so freaking excited for his book, because I really like Lucian, and I just wanted to know more. I want to know why he is the way he is, and all of that. Then next I have, I read these out of order. So I have Practice Makes Perfect and When in Rome. I read Practice Makes Perfect first because I thought it was a standalone. Come to find out, it's the second to When in Rome. It's not really the second, it's just like, they could both be read as standalones. It involves the same characters as When in Rome. But I give this a 4-star. I read this May 13th through May 16th. It is about Annie, who she is a local flower shop owner. She's very much like a shy people pleaser. She's the youngest of 4 siblings, and she very much is a people pleaser. Like, she wants everyone happy, whether she's happy or not. And generally she ends up being kind of not happy. Well, homegirl has a hard time dating. Like, she just can't seem to spark conversation with people. And so her brother's wife, Amelia, is a singer, and her bodyguard, Will, is going to tutor her on how to be a better flirt, how to be a better dater. And they end up falling in love, essentially. And yeah, some things happen, and they fall in love. He doesn't want to fall in love. He's kind of like Knox. Like, homie's not gonna fall in love. He's just like the bad boy vibe. He falls in love. Of course he does. And Annie was not expecting to fall in love with him. She was just expecting to have him as a coach. Yeah, I just really liked this one. It was a very like nice, wholesome read. And then we have like, he brought out her personality and like taught her how to be bold with like putting up boundaries and stuff. Like, I really like them. When in Rome, this book is about Amelia Rose and Noah. Noah is Annie's older brother. He is, I believe, the oldest. Yeah, the oldest. The 4 of them, there's Noah, and then the 2 sisters, I think Madison and another one, and then there's Annie. Their parents died. Annie was like 2 or 3 or something. Their parents died, and then their grandma raised them. The grandma is in a nursing home with either Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't remember which one. But yeah, Amelia, this grumpy sunshine again. Amelia is trying to escape from her life. She's an Audrey Hepburn girly. She watched, I believe it's When in Rome, hence the title. And she's like, I can't get to Rome, but I can get to Rome, Kentucky. And so she drove like her little beat up car, and it made it to Noah's front yard, essentially. No phone service, no nothing. She just wanted to escape her life. And yeah, a bunch of turn of events happen. They end up falling in love. He tries not to fall in love because he's had his heart broken from someone that couldn't stay in town either, and he has to stay in town as the man of the family. And like, he just, yeah, it's such an easy read. I gave it a 4-star. I really enjoy these books. I hope there's more. Like, I hope we get one of each sibling. His best friend, I hope, ends up being with one of the siblings. I really hope that happens. His name is James. And yeah, I just think that, I think it's very good. Very well written, very simple, very easy reads. I believe that these were both closed door or open door. It's the one where you don't know much. Like, you don't see the explicit stuff. I think that those, there might have been like one scene in each, but it wasn't crazy. These, on the other hand, a little smutty. Not terrible, but a little bit. Then, Bridgerton. I watched Bridgerton. I've not watched Queen Charlotte yet, but I've watched the first 2 seasons of Bridgerton, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I cannot wait for season 3. I'll talk about that more in my June reviews. But yeah, I've got The Duke and I, and then I've got The Viscount Who Loves Me. We'll talk about The Duke and I first. I gave this a 4-star. I read this one May 22nd to May 26th. This is about Daphne and Simon. Daphne, it is her second year in the London, like, coming out into society, I guess, where she can start looking for a husband. And it is her second year. She is the first girl in the family. She's the 4th sibling. Her parents, they named them alphabetically. So she's 4th, so D, Daphne. And she ends up falling in love with brother's best friend. She did not plan on falling in love, but she did very quickly, and he did not. Simon wanted to be a single Pringle for the rest of his life. He just wanted to go live his own life, not have any like children, none of that, because of his the way he was raised. Like, his mother died during childbirth. And yeah, this book, it was just so good. I have preferred the book characters over the show characters so much so far. So yeah. And yeah, so basically Daphne kept getting like denied, like the first season, like her first season, all the guys were like, no, like, she's just like a best friend, like, I do not see her as like a significant other, like, that's a best friend. And Simon kind of came into the scene, and he was like, you know what, like, we're kind of getting paired off anyways, like, let's maybe hang out, essentially. So then I stopped getting asked to dance with other people's daughters, and you start getting marriage proposals, because if you're good enough for a duke, you're good enough for anyone. And some things happen. Anthony finds them, and Anthony's like, we're gonna duel, or you're getting married. Homie Simon was like, we're gonna duel. And Daphne broke it up. Daphne got married, and so on and so forth. They, yeah, there's a lot in this book. And yeah, I really like these books so far. I've read this one, Anthony's, Benedict's, and Colin's. I'm gonna start Eloise's, I think, either today or tomorrow. But so far, these are really good. Next, we're getting into The Viscount Who Loved Me. Anthony's story. So this is, I gave this one a 3-star. I will say Anthony is not my favorite. He's kind of pretentious and rude, but he's also the oldest, and like their dad's dead, so like he has to protect and care for all of his siblings. I read this May 26th through May 31st. He's kind of pretentious and rude, and like I am not here for that. But I love Kate, which is not who he starts with. Essentially, like, the show screwed it up. Like, the show has changed so much, and I would not say for the better. I like book Anthony better than I like show Anthony, but I'm not a huge Anthony fan. But he basically, like, he kind of just picks a girl and he's like, that's who I'm gonna marry. Like, they just have to be bearable and bear me children. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. Pass on my bloodline, essentially. And that's not what happens. He ends up falling in love, finding love but Edwina, like, I just feel bad for Edwina, but she ends up finding love, and so that's all that really matters, is that she ends up finding, like, true love, I believe. But yeah, it's just, like, him and Kate have such, like, duty mindsets that, like, you knew kind of from the get-go that it was probably gonna work with them. Like, they have such duty for the family mindsets, and, like, they have more of, like, the same personality and same, like, I don't know, like, triggers and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that the way he helped her heal a lot of her trauma was phenomenal, and like props to Anthony for that. But again, I just am not an Anthony fan, or Antony as they say in the show. But yeah, so far this is, I think, my least favorite of the Bridgerton books. But yeah, I would suggest reading it. Like, don't just skip it because he's pretentious. But yeah, that's it for this video. I will have up a Divergent video at some point. I'm not sure when. I was gonna film it today, but I am feeling like not filming it right now, so we'll see. It might go up in like a week or two. You'll get it eventually. That's all that matters. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.